Harley dealers once rode high on brand loyalty and booming sales, but behind the chrome was a mess no one wanted to talk about. Now, the truth is out, and they're finally paying the price. Here's what really went down. The illusion of value. Harley-Davidson dealerships have long sold more than just motorcycles. They've sold a dream. But behind the gleaming chrome and the iconic brand loyalty lies a harsh reality: the illusion of value. Many buyers walk into showrooms expecting premium quality and fair pricing, only to get hit with inflated markups, hidden fees, and overpriced add-ons disguised as must-have upgrades. The brand's legendary status often blinds customers to the fact that they're paying far more than the bike is actually worth, all for the privilege of owning a Harley. Dealers know this, and they've perfected the art of making you feel like you're investing in an heirloom, when in reality you're just overpaying for the same machine you could have gotten for thousands less if you'd seen through the smoke and mirrors. The worst part? Many of these exclusive features or limited edition models are just clever marketing tactics designed to justify outrageous price tags. Take, for example, the infamous dealer preparation fees, which can add hundreds or even thousands to the final cost for services that are often minimal or already factored into the bike's manufacturing. Then there's the financing trap. Dealers love pushing high-interest loans on buyers who assume they're getting a fair deal because, well, it's Harley-Davidson. But when the excitement fades and the payments kick in, buyers realize they've been sold a fantasy, not a motorcycle. The brand's aura of prestige keeps people from questioning the numbers, and that's exactly how dealers want it. Now the backlash is building. Customers are waking up, lawsuits are piling up, and Harley's reputation is taking a hit as more people speak out about being ripped off. The illusion is crumbling, and dealers are finally being forced to answer for their predatory practices. Whether it's through social media outrage, legal action, or simply buyers walking away, the message is clear. The days of exploiting Harley's loyal fan base are numbered. The question is, will the company clean up its act, or will it keep riding this scam until the wheels fall off? One thing's for sure, the truth is out, and it's costing them. The motorcycle loan trap. Harley-Davidson dealers have been luring riders into a dangerous financial trap, the motorcycle loan scam. Many buyers walk into showrooms dreaming of the open road, only to get blindsided by predatory financing. Dealers push high-interest loans, often targeting buyers with lower credit scores, and bury hidden fees in the fine print. They'll sweet-talk you with low monthly payments, but stretch the loan term to 5, 6, even 7 years, leaving you paying nearly double the bike's value by the time it's all said and done. And if you try to pay it off early, good luck. Some contracts sneak in prepayment penalties, locking you into years of crushing interest. The company's financial services division, Harley-Davidson Financial Services, offers various financing options, including the Rider-to-Rider program, which facilitates private sales of used motorcycles. While these programs aim to make motorcycle ownership more accessible, critics argue that they may encourage consumers to take on loans they cannot afford, leading to defaults and repossessions. This situation not only affects individual customers but also contributes to broader concerns about the company's financial health and lending practices. In response to these challenges, Harley-Davidson has faced declining sales and financial losses. The company reported a significant drop in global motorcycle shipments and revenue, attributing the downturn to various factors, including economic uncertainty and high tariffs. Customers who got burned are fighting back, sharing their stories and demanding accountability. Some dealers are already facing fines, while others are scrambling to clean up their act before the next lawsuit drops. The lesson? Never walk into a Harley dealership, or any dealership, without pre-approved financing, a sharp eye on the contract, and the guts to walk away if the numbers don't add up. Because when it comes to motorcycle loans, the only thing worse than buyer's remorse is realizing you've been played. Hidden fees and phantom bikes. And just when you think it couldn't get worse, they hit you with fees for things that barely exist, and bikes that sometimes don't. Harley-Davidson dealers have been caught red-handed pulling two of the dirtiest tricks in the book: hidden fees and phantom bikes. You walk into a dealership, see a shiny new bike with a tempting price tag, and think you're getting a fair deal, until they hit you with a stack of mandatory add-ons, freight charges, prep fees, dealer markups, and even bogus market adjustments that can add thousands to the sticker price. These fees are often buried in the fine print or sprung on buyers at the last second, turning what seemed like a dream purchase into a financial nightmare. And the worst part? Many of these charges are pure profit for the dealer, with zero added value to the customer. But the scams don't stop there. Some dealers are listing phantom bikes, advertising models they don't even have in stock just to lure buyers through the door. You show up ready to ride out on your dream Harley, only to be told it's just sold or in transit, followed by a hard sell on a more expensive alternative. It's a classic bait and switch, designed to pressure customers into paying more than they planned. Some buyers have even put down deposits, only to wait months with no delivery in sight, while dealers blame supply chain issues or factory delays, convenient excuses that keep your money tied up. Now, though, the backlash is real. Customers are fighting back with lawsuits, social media exposés, and complaints to state regulators, forcing some dealers to refund hidden fees or face fines. Harley-Davidson Corporate is cracking down too, threatening to revoke franchises for shady practices. The message is clear. The days of ripping off riders are ending. But will it be enough to restore trust? After years of these underhanded tactics, Harley enthusiasts are watching closely, and they won't forget who tried to take them for a ride. Riders revolt. And yet the biggest betrayal wasn't in the price. It was in what the bikes had become. Harley-Davidson riders have reached their breaking point, and the revolt is gaining serious momentum. For years, dealers operated with impunity, tacking on absurd fees, pushing unnecessary add-ons, and delivering subpar service, all while hiding behind Harley's legendary brand. But the era of blind loyalty is over. Riders are now weaponizing social media, flooding dealer pages with damning reviews and sharing horror stories that go viral overnight. Online forums and riding clubs have become hubs for organizing boycotts, with some riders even staging protests outside notorious dealerships. The community that once celebrated Harley as a way of life is now united in holding them accountable. The financial fallout is impossible to ignore. Dealerships known for shady practices are seeing showrooms empty out as riders take their business to independent shops or switch brands altogether. Harley's sales, already struggling in recent years, are taking another hit as the rider-led backlash spreads. Some dealers are panicking, offering discounts, free upgrades, or even refunds to quiet the storm, but the damage to their reputation may already be done. The most telling sign? Longtime Harley loyalists, the diehards who once defended the brand no matter what, are now leading the charge against dealer greed. These riders aren't just complaining, they're meticulously documenting every shady transaction, creating a paper trail that's catching the attention of consumer watchdogs and lawyers. What started as frustration over pricing has exploded into a full-scale reckoning for Harley-Davidson's entire dealer network. Riders aren't just demanding fair treatment, they're rewriting the rules of engagement. Class action lawsuits are being filed, state attorneys general are launching investigations, and the Federal Trade Commission is taking notice. The days of dealers exploiting customer trust are ending, and Harley itself is being forced to intervene, with reports of corporate cracking down on the worst offenders. But for many riders, real change will only come when the brand acknowledges how deeply it failed its most devoted customers. This uprising isn't just about money, it's about respect. And if Harley wants to reclaim its place in riders' hearts, it'll have to prove it's listening. The road ahead is uncertain, but one thing's clear. The riders have spoken, and they won't be ignored. The death of simplicity. So where do riders go when they're done being scammed? They go back to machines that make sense and a market dealers can't control. Harley-Davidson dealerships used to embody the spirit of straight-shooting American motorcycle culture. You'd walk into a no-nonsense showroom, talk bikes with knowledgeable staff, and leave with a fair deal and a handshake. But somewhere along the way, that simplicity got traded for corporate greed and predatory sales tactics. Today's Harley shopping experience has become a masterclass in frustration, where hidden fees lurk beneath advertised prices and pushy finance managers try to upsell you on everything from extended warranties to overpriced chrome accessories. The worst part? This isn't just a few bad apples. It's become standard operating procedure at dealerships nationwide, turning what should be an exciting moment into a battle of wills between buyer and seller. The transparency crisis goes deeper than just annoying add-ons. Many dealers now engage in blatant price gouging, slapping market adjustments of $3,000 or more on popular models simply because they can. Want to special order a bike at MSRP? Good luck. Many dealers refuse unless you agree to finance through them at inflated interest rates. And if you think paying cash will save you money, think again. Some stores actually penalize cash buyers with higher fees because they make less profit without kickbacks from lenders. Online forums are flooded with stories of customers being lied to about availability, having deposits mysteriously disappear, or being forced to buy thousands in accessories just to get an allocation. This erosion of trust couldn't come at a worse time for Harley-Davidson. As the company struggles to attract younger riders and compete with electric startups like Zero and Livewire, which ironically Harley owns but can't seem to leverage, their dealer network is actively driving customers away. The backlash is growing louder by the day, from viral social media exposés to class action lawsuits over deceptive practices. Some state attorneys general have even begun investigating dealerships for potential consumer protection violations. The real tragedy is that Harley's core appeal was always about more than just motorcycles. It was about a culture of authenticity and freedom. But when your dealers treat customers like marks to be scammed rather than fellow enthusiasts to be welcomed into the family, that culture dies. Unless Harley Corporate takes drastic action to clean house and return to transparent customer-first sales practices, they risk becoming just another cautionary tale about how greed destroyed an American icon. The used market uprising. But even the used market can't fix one brutal truth. Harley's core audience is disappearing, and they're not coming back. The used Harley-Davidson market is undergoing a seismic shift that's sending shockwaves through dealerships nationwide. For decades, buyers walked onto showroom floors at a massive disadvantage, facing predatory markups, fabricated market adjustments, and a maze of hidden fees that could add thousands to a bike's sticker price. But the digital revolution has armed consumers with an unprecedented level of pricing transparency. Today's buyers arrive at dealerships already knowing every bike's fair market value, complete maintenance history, and what similar models are selling for across the country. This knowledge gap closure has created a perfect storm where dealers can no longer rely on information asymmetry to pad their profits, and the ones slow to adapt are getting caught with aging inventory that's depreciating by the day. What's truly fascinating is how this market correction is playing out in real time across social platforms and rider forums. Enraged customers aren't just walking away from bad deals. They're documenting every shady tactic and sharing their experiences with millions of potential buyers. A single viral post exposing a dealership's bait-and-switch pricing or fabricated fees can now tank their reputation overnight. Meanwhile, a new wave of transparent private sellers and boutique dealers are thriving by embracing radical honesty, providing full-service records, offering no-haggle pricing, and even encouraging third-party inspections. This grassroots movement has grown so powerful that some major dealership groups are being forced to overhaul their entire used bike operations, implementing fixed pricing models and satisfaction guarantees just to stay competitive. The long-term implications of this uprising could reshape Harley's entire business model. As more riders realize they can get better deals and treatment outside traditional dealership networks, the brand's iron grip on the pre-owned market is slipping. Some forward-thinking dealers are responding by creating certified pre-owned programs with actual value-add benefits rather than just marketing fluff, while others are investing in reconditioning processes that justify their pricing. But for every dealer making genuine improvements, there are 3 others still trying to prop up the old system with temporary discounts and gimmicks. The painful truth is that today's Harley buyers aren't just comparing prices between dealerships, they're weighing whether to buy from a dealer at all. The aging rider crisis. As the riders age out, the bikes pile up, and the machines that once flew off showroom floors now sit untouched, collecting dust. The Harley-Davidson brand has long been synonymous with freedom, rebellion, and the open road, but there's a growing crisis threatening to derail the entire business model. For decades, Harley relied on baby boomers as their core customer base, cultivating an image of rugged individualism that resonated perfectly with this generation. However, as these riders grow older, many are reluctantly hanging up their helmets due to health concerns, financial constraints, or simply losing the ability to handle these heavy machines. What was once a steady stream of loyal customers has become a trickle, and the alarming truth is that younger generations aren't stepping up to fill the void. Dealerships that once thrived on predictable sales cycles are now sitting on acres of unsold inventory, watching their business evaporate as the clock ticks on their aging customer base. The problem goes far beyond shifting demographics. It's an existential threat to the entire Harley ecosystem. The situation at dealerships has become increasingly desperate as trade-ins flood the market with nowhere to go. Longtime Harley owners looking to downsize or cash out are finding shockingly low offers if dealers will take their bikes at all. The secondary market is saturated with gently used Harleys, many with low mileage, selling for fractions of their original price. Meanwhile, younger riders show little interest in Harley's traditional offerings, viewing them as overpriced, impractical relics of a bygone era. They're flocking to electric motorcycles, lightweight adventure bikes, and European brands that offer better technology and value. This generational shift has left Harley dealers resorting to increasingly aggressive tactics, pushing high-interest financing, loading bikes with mandatory accessories, and employing high-pressure sales techniques that only further alienate potential new customers. The very dealerships that built fortunes selling the Harley dream are now undermining the brand's future with short-term survival strategies. Some dealers are attempting to modernize by offering riding experiences and beginner programs, but these efforts feel like too little, too late after years of ignoring younger riders. The most troubling aspect is that this crisis was entirely predictable. Industry analysts warned for years about the aging rider problem, yet Harley continued doubling down on nostalgia instead of innovating. Now, the bill has come due, and it's the dealership network, the heart of Harley's business, that's bearing the brunt of corporate short-sightedness. Unless radical changes happen soon, we may witness the unthinkable, a world where Harley dealerships become as rare as the aging riders they once served. Unsold and Unwanted. So what happens when the bikes won't move, the bills pile up, and time runs out? Welcome to desperation mode. Harley-Davidson dealers are sitting on a growing pile of unsold bikes, and it's becoming a massive problem. Over the past few years, dealerships have been overstocked with models that just aren't moving, from bulky touring bikes to overpriced street glides. The reason? A combination of sky-high MSRPs, aggressive dealer markups, and a customer base that's increasingly fed up with feeling nickel and dimed. The result? Showrooms packed with shiny, dust-collecting machines that even deep discounts can't move. This isn't just a temporary slump, it's a sign of a brand losing touch with its riders, and now dealers are drowning in inventory they can't unload. But why are these bikes unwanted in the first place? For starters, Harley's traditional customer base is aging out, and younger riders aren't stepping in to fill the gap. Millennials and Gen Z riders are more drawn to affordable, practical bikes, not $30,000 chrome-covered cruisers. Even Harley's attempts to pivot with electric models like the Livewire have fallen flat, with dealers struggling to sell them at anywhere near their inflated price tags. Add in rising interest rates and an economy where fewer people can justify luxury purchases, and you've got a perfect storm of stagnation. Dealers are now stuck between Harley's push to keep ordering new inventory and the reality that their lots are turning into graveyards for unsold motorcycles. The fallout is already hitting dealers where it hurts, their wallets. Many are now slashing prices just to clear space, taking huge losses on bikes they once marked up with pride. Some are even refusing new shipments from Harley, risking their franchise agreements to avoid further financial ruin. And it's not just small-town dealers feeling the pain. Even major dealerships in prime locations are reporting record-low sales. The days of Harley-Davidson being an unstoppable sales juggernaut are over, and the dealers who bet big on the brand's past glory are now paying the price. Unless something changes fast, we could see a wave of Harley dealerships shutting their doors for good, leaving behind empty showrooms and a cautionary tale about what happens when a brand stops listening to its customers. Desperation mode. The panic isn't just inside the showroom anymore, it's across the entire network, and some dealers won't survive what comes next. Harley-Davidson dealers have entered full-blown panic mode, and the desperation is palpable. After decades of operating like untouchable kings in the motorcycle world, charging outrageous market adjustments, forcing mandatory accessories, and treating customers like walking ATMs, the reckoning is here. Sales numbers are in freefall, showrooms are packed with unsold inventory, and dealers are resorting to unprecedented discounts just to move metal. The same sales managers who once smirked while tacking on $3,000 in document fees are now cold-calling previous customers, offering below MSRP deals with free gear thrown in. But here's the problem. Riders have long memories. The internet has exposed every shady tactic, from bait-and-switch financing to lost deposits, and buyers are finally voting with their wallets. The speed of this collapse is stunning. At the peak of Harley's dominance, dealers could name their price. Customers either paid up or waited months for the privilege of overpaying. Now, floor plans are bursting with unsold touring models, Sportsters sit gathering dust, and even the coveted CVOs are being discounted. The pandemic-era buying frenzy masked the rot for a while, but now that the bubble has burst, the true extent of the damage is clear. Online forums are flooded with stories of dealers offering $4,000 off MSRP, waived freight charges, and aggressive trade-in bonuses, tactics they'd have laughed at just 2 years ago. Yet despite the fire sale pricing, foot traffic is dead. Why? Because Harley's core audience, the boomers who fueled decades of profits, are aging out, and younger riders want nothing to do with a brand that treated them like marks instead of valued customers. Behind the scenes, the chaos is even worse. Floor plan interest rates are crushing dealers stuck with aging inventory, forcing some to sell bikes at a loss just to avoid repossession. Meanwhile, Harley Corporate keeps pushing new units onto dealers through aggressive allocation programs, creating a vicious cycle of oversupply. The brand's failed attempts to attract younger buyers, like the overpriced Bronx that never materialized or the underwhelming Pan America, only made things worse by further alienating the traditional base. Now, with used Harley values tanking and private sellers undercutting dealers by thousands, the entire ecosystem is in crisis. The smart dealers saw this coming and pivoted years ago, cutting the games, embracing transparency, and building real community. But for the old-school hustlers who thought the gravy train would never end, it's not just a reckoning, it's an extinction-level event. And the bitter irony? The very customers they spent years exploiting are now watching their downfall with a mix of schadenfreude and quiet satisfaction. Death of the dealership. And just when dealers thought they'd seen it all, Harley handed them something they couldn't sell: silence on two wheels. The once thriving network of Harley-Davidson dealerships is facing a significant downturn, with closures becoming increasingly common across the United States. Economic challenges, shifts in consumer behavior, and internal corporate struggles have all contributed to this decline. Notably, dealerships in major cities like San Francisco, New York City, and multiple locations in Illinois and Florida have shut their doors in 2024 and early 2025, citing factors such as economic pressures and changes in ownership. These closures reflect broader issues within the company, including a 60% drop in motorcycle revenue and a 53% decrease in shipments in the last quarter of 2024 compared to the same period in 2023. The decline in dealership numbers is further exacerbated by Harley-Davidson's internal challenges. In early 2025, the company reported a 21% drop in global motorcycle sales compared to the same period in 2024, with North America experiencing a 24% decline. These figures underscore the difficulties faced by dealerships, which are grappling with decreased consumer demand and an oversupply of inventory. The company's decision to cut back on motorcycle shipments has left many dealers with excess stock, leading to financial strain and, in some cases, closure. The impact of these closures extends beyond the dealerships themselves, affecting the broader Harley-Davidson community. Long-standing dealerships like Hideout Harley-Davidson in Joplin, Missouri, which closed in March 2025, have been integral parts of their local communities, hosting events and fostering a sense of camaraderie among riders. The loss of such establishments not only signifies a shift in the company's business model, but also marks the end of an era for many enthusiasts. As Harley-Davidson navigates these turbulent times, the future of its dealership network remains uncertain, raising questions about how the company will adapt to the evolving landscape of the motorcycle industry. The electric dilemma. So now the question isn't just about the bikes, it's about the future. Can Harley rebuild, or will it all collapse for good? Harley-Davidson's ambitious leap into the electric motorcycle market has turned into a financial nightmare for its dealers, exposing deep cracks in the company's strategy. When the Livewire was first unveiled, it was hailed as a revolutionary step forward, a sleek, high-performance electric machine carrying the legendary Harley name. But what looked like progress on paper has become a logistical and financial disaster for dealerships across the country. The fundamental problem is simple. The typical Harley customer isn't interested in electric bikes. These buyers crave the thunderous roar of a combustion engine, the raw mechanical power that's been synonymous with Harley for over a century. Now dealers find themselves stuck with showrooms full of 20,000-plus electric bikes that won't move, forced to offer massive discounts just to clear inventory while still being required by corporations to maintain expensive EV charging infrastructure and specialized technician training. The situation has created an unprecedented rift between Harley-Davidson corporate and its dealer network, with many store owners feeling betrayed by the company's direction. Behind closed doors, dealers report being strong-armed into accepting Livewire inventory they didn't want and couldn't sell, with threats of reduced allocations for popular gas-powered models if they refused. Some have resorted to parking their unsold electric bikes in back lots just to make room for motorcycles that actually sell. The financial strain is very real. Between floor plan interest on unsold inventory, the cost of mandatory EV equipment installations, and lost revenue from tying up valuable showroom space, many dealers claim the electric initiative is actively hurting their businesses. Even more frustrating is the fact that competing electric motorcycle brands like Zero and Energica aren't facing the same dealer rebellion, likely because they built their businesses around electric from the start rather than trying to force an electric future onto an established combustion engine customer base. As the standoff continues, Harley finds itself at a critical crossroads. The company has staked its future on electric mobility, but its dealer network, the lifeblood of Harley's retail operation, is increasingly resistant. Some dealers are taking matters into their own hands by quietly redirecting their investments toward custom builds and used bike sales where profit margins remain strong. Others are exploring legal options regarding franchise agreements that require them to accept unwanted inventory. The coming year may force Harley to make painful choices, either double down on its electric vision and risk mass dealer defections, or scale back its EV ambitions to preserve dealer relationships. Meanwhile, the clock is ticking as traditional Harley riders age out of the market and younger riders show more interest in competitors' offerings. This electric dilemma isn't just about motorcycles. It's about whether an American icon can successfully reinvent itself without alienating the very dealers and customers who built the brand in the first place. Rebuild or collapse? The future of Harley-Davidson dealerships hangs in the balance. Will they rebuild trust or collapse under the weight of their own mistakes? For years, customers have faced inflated prices, hidden fees, and pressure tactics that left many feeling ripped off. But now, with lawsuits piling up, social media outrage growing, and buyers walking away, dealers are being forced to confront a harsh reality. Their reputation is in freefall. The question isn't just whether they can recover, it's whether they're willing to change before it's too late. Some dealers are scrambling to clean up their act, offering price transparency, better customer service, and even refunds to those who were overcharged. But is it enough? After years of squeezing every dollar out of loyal riders, rebuilding trust won't happen overnight. Customers aren't just angry about the money, they're furious over the betrayal. Harley's brand was built on brotherhood and freedom, not shady sales tactics. If dealers want to survive, they'll need to do more than slap on a Band-Aid. They'll need a complete overhaul in how they treat riders. The clock is ticking. With electric bikes gaining traction and competitors offering fairer deals, Harley dealers can't afford to keep losing customers. This is their make-or-break moment. Either adapt and earn back loyalty, or watch their businesses crumble as riders take their money elsewhere. The choice is simple: rebuild with honesty or collapse under the weight of greed. The road ahead is rough, but for those willing to change, there's still a chance to salvage the Harley legacy before it's gone for good. If this shocked you, hit that like button and subscribe for more hard truths about the motorcycle world. Got thoughts on Harley's downfall? Drop them in the comments. Let's talk. Don't miss what's coming next.